What's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. This is my Quebec City Nordiques franchise mode on NHL 17, and in this episode, we begin Season 4, and my God, we have to make the playoffs this year. Like, there is no question about it. We have to make the playoffs this year. Two things, though, before we get into the sim. I have changed a couple player types, again, just in hope that something happens. I've changed Matt Duchene to a two-way. I don't know if that'll work. He's a solid playmaker. He's a solid sniper. He is a solid player. So we'll see if that works out. Puljujärvi's been switched to a playmaker, 93 passing. Much more suited to him rather than power forward. Dubois is a playmaker yet again. Was that the last thing I changed? I think it was. I don't know. Wait, I think I changed Sonny Milano to a power forward. Just because, why not? It's not like he's sniping goals. Basically, I'm panicking and changing player types because we need to make the playoffs. Not only make the playoffs, we need to win. And that's basically it. We will see whether or not this team can get it done, but they have to. The other thing, though, really quickly, was I was told to keep an eye out for a certain prospect named Stan Haynes that has become a little bit infamous around the NHL 17 community here on YouTube. Here's the thing. I searched every area. Whenever you hit an area, right now we're scouting out Russia. Whenever you hit an area, of course you have the view all prospects. He's not in my sim. He's not in my game. We're not going to be able to get him. Although, after looking him up, I went down the rabbit hole of the Vancouver series because I still say Esa Hall is probably the best player ever drafted in anybody's GM mode or franchise mode. 97 overall by the time he was 23. If you don't know who I'm talking about, go check out my Vancouver series on NHL 16. Come on, it's only NHL 16. It's not that far back. But anyway, I guess I can't delay anymore. I'm afraid we're going to get off to a terrible start, and we're just going to get killed. We had a pretty solid preseason, which is probably a good sign. We only lost 2 games, one to Philly, and an overtime loss to New Jersey. But all right, let's do it. We'll sim to the end of the month. I'm so goddamn nervous that we're going to be terrible. Oh boy. All right, we will sim to the end of the month, and we will see where this team stands after the opening few games. Now, we're not quite to where I said we would be when we stopped, but so far, we are performing as we should be. A 6-2 record, losses to Nashville and Chicago. But right now, Jonas Enroth gets this next game in goal against the Edmonton Oilers. He lost a game earlier. Sean Matthias, you got 2 years left on your deal. We'll decline you. And for the, damn it. Once again, Enroth just gets crushed. We lose 6-1 to the Edmonton Oilers. And the reason I'm showing this live is, number one, we were in first place. We still are, which is nice. Is that the first time we've been in first place in this series at any point? It certainly feels like it is. But right now, the reason why Enroth was starting is Korpisalo is out for about another week with an injury. So Adam Werner is going to get the start. I could have called up Kozanov, but I want him to continue to get the ice time in Cleveland. So we will see if this pans out. A 73, he shows him as a 72. But that's the morale system. A 72, 73 overall goalie against the Anaheim Ducks. Can we get the win? And he gets a 4-0 shutout, because why not? Are you kidding? Enroth gets smashed by the Oilers, and then Marner gets a 4-0 shutout against the Ducks. That brings our record, though, to 7-3 at the end of the first month, which isn't too bad. And we're just going to keep the sim going. Let's go. To December 1st, we will sim through the entire month of November and hope that we are still in a decent spot. We have a handful of back-to-backs as well, so let's hope I should say, that Korpisalo can stay healthy. Enroth has been a bit shaky so far this season, but let's see what happens. Let's keep the sim going, and we will hope that we can still be in first place. That's a pretty nice feeling. November has come to an end, and with a 14-9-1 record, we have fallen off pace just a little bit. If you look at this, there were a couple of blowout losses that really hurt. 7-3 to Winnipeg, 6-2 to the Capitals, 6-0 to Winnipeg again, 4-1, 3-2. So there were some losses in there that really started to hurt our chances. And the big problem is we are still in a very competitive division. As you can see right now, we are just right in the middle of it. The Islanders are doing great. We were in first place for a bit of that. Now we find ourselves in third. So it's been an interesting sim. And again, it sucks. Right now, the main problem that I can see is Jonas Enroth just isn't the goalie he has been in recent years, currently with an .872 save percentage through 9 games. He does have a shutout to his credit, which is kind of surprising. Korpisalo, still performing great, a .926 save percentage again. He's still on that great contract for 2 more years. I need to win before we need to pay him that big-time money. I actually haven't taken a look at the stats yet either. Let's see here. Matthew Tkachuk, welcome. It's about time you started performing to the level you should be. 14 goals so far this year. 23% shooting percentage. That's what I like to see. Matt Duchene still performing well. 16 points, 12 assists thus far. And Jesus Christ alive, Jesse Puljujarvi, 3 goals, 26 assists so far in this season. That is unbelievable. Absolutely incredible. 93 hand-eye, 93 passing. Changing him to a playmaker, I'd say, was a good decision. So that top line, performing pretty well. Puljujarvi already up too. I didn't even notice. He's already up to an 86, which is nice. A little bit of progression there. Pierre-Luc Dubois, I hate you. I hate you, and I might have to get rid of you. And I'd never want to get rid of someone who's low elite potential at 21 years old. But my God, man. 5 points and a -15. Just fuck off. Dylan Larkin, 6 points, -14. Bjorkstrand, no goals. 91-89 wrist shot. No goals, -12. So clearly we're going to have to break up that second line. Sonny Milano on the third line, 6 points. I might get rid of him too. Kevin Stenlund, 11 points isn't too bad for an 82 overall third line center. And Stan Kaigorodov, who's up to an 84, has 10 points so far this season. On the fourth line, Bittner with 5. That's not terrible. 6 from Kerdiles and 6 from Olsen. So really, it's these 4, Dubois, Larkin, Bjorkstrand, and Milano, that are just completely pissing me off right now. And I am going to have to make a change there. I do want to take a look at the defense, though, really quick. Carlson, doing well. Seth Jones, doing well. Vlasic and Savard, it could be better. It could be better. And the third line pairing of Chychrun and Bergman, it could be better there as well. But we're going to have to keep Vlasic and Savard together. Carlson and Jones are performing to their expectations right now, so we can't afford to break up that pairing. And we will hope that Vlasic and Savard can get it together. Now, as far as changes go, I think I'm just going to settle for this. We'll put Kaigorodov and Milano up on the second pairing, or the second line, not like they deserve it. And we'll drop Dubois and Bjorkstrand down, and we'll see what happens. But there is a strong chance that Dubois, Milano, Bjorkstrand, and who knows, maybe even Dylan Larkin. I know we just acquired him, but I am just not going to put up with players underperforming anymore. I'm not going to do it. We need to win, and it might come back to haunt us. We could trade Dubois, and he could turn into a 60-point guy. But I'm not going to deal with bullshit anymore. But getting back into the sim here, we are going to continue to go. I think we're going to go to the All-Star break. In this episode, we'll get a quick update on how those players are doing once we reach the All-Star break, and that will be it for this episode. So let's see. Can the Nordiques stay competitive so far? I mean, we're not too far into the season. We're only 24 games into the season. But if you fall behind by Christmas, we all know that's the magical date. You can't fall behind by Christmas. Now, I said that we would probably go to the All-Star break in this episode. I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. A very up and down month of December. We lost 3 of our first 4. We went on a nice 5-game winning streak, and now we've lost 4 straight games, including getting shut out by the Maple Leafs 4-0, which puts us at a 20-15 and simply not good enough record. 2 overtime losses. We are in third place, though, which is hilarious, but you can see that we could very easily be outside of the playoff structure. And simply put, we need to make changes to this team. More changes, as if we haven't made enough. I'm simply not going to put up with mediocrity anymore. Joonas Korpisalo is great. We need a new backup. Jonas Enroth simply isn't getting it done. Looking here, this top line's keeping us afloat. Bottom line, this top line is keeping us afloat. They are the only reason we're in the spot that we are. Sonny Milano's going. He is. We've had him on the second line, third line, and fourth line this season. He is going. He only has 8 points. Dylan Larkin very well might go. He was a big-time minus player in Detroit last year, and I figured he'd be better this year. No, he's just terrible. He is terrible. So we're going to look to probably get rid of him. And then Bjorkstrand, only 14 points at minus 15. He's going too. Fuck him. I'm not putting up with mediocrity anymore. Pierre-Luc Dubois, he's going too. Say goodbye. You're fucking terrible. Further proof that fucking Columbus should have taken Puljujärvi. Thank God I was able to get him. Nick Kerdiles, he's doing all right. I ideally have him on the fourth line. So he's doing all right. Kaigorodov, 14 points. I'm happy with that. Compared to Dubois. He has as many points as Bjorkstrand. So why wouldn't I be happy with Kaigorodov? Then you have Bittner. That's all right for a fourth liner. Stenlund. That's all right for a third to fourth line guy or someone who I want to grow into a third line guy. And then Mats Olsson is fine. But right here, those four, Milano, Larkin, Bjorkstrand, and Dubois, I stumbled through that. I'm going to do whatever I can to get rid of them and to get players in here that actually feel like performing up to the level we need them to perform to. Erik Karlsson's having a decent year. Seth Jones is having a decent year. But what do? Do we split them up and do we get Vlasic and Savard with a new partner? Because they're just not getting it done. Chychrun right now, not ideal either as far as that fourth line pairing goes. Let me know what we do with the defense, but I think it would probably be the right call to split them up because it's just... Karlsson and Jones are good. Vlasic and Savard, not a very good pairing. Let me know what we should do there. We could even use Vlasic now if we truly wanted to, in combination with those four forwards that are just terrible. We could even trade Vlasic now if we wanted to and just bump Chychrun up to that spot. But that's probably the more drastic measure, but Vlasic still has a ton of trade value. That's why I bring up that option. And like I said, Enroth needs to go. Down in the AHL, we've been messing with the Lions a little bit. We're getting some decent progression out of guys right now. So I'm happy with things there. Ralph Jarrett, for God's sakes, up to a 78 overall, despite being that high AHL potential. So, yeah, we're doing all right. But we need to be better than all right. We are 9 points behind the Islanders. 37 games into the year. We're not even halfway through yet, but I am not going to risk this team imploding yet again. And of course, we still have a ton of cap space, but there you see Vlasic's trade value. It's up there right now. Dylan Larkin, I could still probably get a decent return for. Bjorkstrand, Milano, and Dubois are all pretty much in the same area. So screw it. We're just going to get rid of them, and we're going to try to get players in here that can actually get the job done. But again, guys, that'll do it for this one. I'm not risking the season. We will figure this out in time for the next one. If you have enjoyed this episode, though, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, all that normal shit that I tell you. Have I drilled that through your head yet? If you haven't done that already, you're probably not going to do it. So I don't know who I'm preaching to at this point. But anyways, again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.